What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Back to another episode of BingeWorthy, the only show where four people binge a show in the week to talk about it, to let you know if the show's worth binging or not. And this week, what did we decide to binge? Titans Season 2. Y'all thought we had enough of Titans with Season 1. We back at it with Season 2. I'm going to open the floor up. I'm going to start with the lovely Cortney Wright, one of our lovely hosts, to talk about what did you think of the opening episode, just opening episode of Titans 2?
Well, the opening episode, because it literally picked up right where the other one ended. So I love that it went right back in. It didn't pull that whole this is what happened and everybody's fine. So because it was such an exciting moment, the way that season 1 ended in that cliffhanger. So to take us right back in and have the battle against Trigon, I was excited.
Yeah.
Johnny
Randolph, what did you think?
Trivia. Oh, sorry. Can I say one thing?
Wait. What's up? Go into that.
Trivia. I was reading about it, and it turns out that wasn't the original way that they wanted to end season 1 and begin season 2. Yeah, they had planned a whole different. Apparently, like I was reading online, they had planned an entirely different ending for season 1, and we're gonna begin and have a different villain. But they decided to end with Trigon and then begin the rest of it, and they reshot it.
Interesting.
And to me, that makes sense because I was actually a little disappointed in the first episode. Because to me, we had all this build up in season 1, right? The team coalesces around Rachel. They're trying to protect her and understand her because we know something is afoot, something major, something big. And at our season end, we see Trigon break out of his imprisonment in whatever dimension or whatever it was he was in. And so I'm thinking when Trigon gets out, because if you're familiar with any of the comics or television shows, Trigon's like Wu-Tang. He ain't nothing to fuck with, right? So I'm thinking this dude is going to come in and wreak havoc in the universe. And they kill him the first episode. And I'm like, why do we just spend 13 hours building all of this up to kill him in the first episode? The first episode was a little disappointing to me.
Speak on it.
Oh, yes.
Syntell, what are your thoughts?
I'm so glad you said that because I feel the exact same way. I spend an entire season with this wonderful cast, and when we finally get to the big bad, I mean, it's like, a good little pat on the shoulder, a little peace sign, and then he's moved him on his way. And I kind of feel that way about another big bad in season 2. I feel like our big bads aren't getting their due respect.
I agree.
Well,
and that to me is a little bit of a problem.
Well, I feel like they were trying to, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I actually am 100% agree that you would expect Trigon, knowing who he is, that he would have spent more time with us. But I feel like they were trying to get Raven to just get that little jewel in her forehead.
That's all they were trying to do. This one I thought I was like, yo,
I feel like that's all they wanted to do was to
we have no special flex budget. We're gonna let them walk out and turn around. That's
because they didn't even explain that Trigon is in her head. Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I think you hit the nail kind of like right on the head too, Chuck, man. I think it felt like a budget thing to me, maybe, because when they finally got the real rendered out version of Trigon, and then he was kind of, tiny.
Stiff.
And the first one, he was a little white dude, and I'm like, whoa, wait, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like,
they made him
hold up.
Mystique and like Jennifer Lawrence him out. Like Jennifer Lawrence in the whole entire movie. At least turn Mystique once or twice in the movie.
Yeah, and then when he turned into kind of a version of it, I was like, well, but then he died like 10 minutes later, and I'm like, ugh.
I really think they were just trying to get the jewel because I feel like they must have got a lot of like comments and questions like, "Where's Raven? The jewel in her forehead?" But they didn't even acknowledge the fact that Trigon is supposed to be trapped in that jewel.
Right.
Yeah,
That's what I
they
thought
didn't.
too. But I was like, well, maybe I got my storylines messed up and
No, he's
twisted.
definitely.
I thought
It gives her
messed
it
up.
gives her headaches and all
Yeah.
kind of things. Yeah, because Trigon is, like I said, he's nothing to fuck with. So he's trying to get out, and Raven
Actively.
is feeling the consequences of his attempts to escape from this imprisonment.
Yeah,
And yeah, it just
yeah. They haven't touched on that yet. So let's go further into season 2.
I feel like they're not going to touch on it.
What's that?
I mean,
Yeah.
I said I feel like they're not going to touch on it. Like I was excited for it. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And I understand. I feel like it's hard because as a fan, I totally agree with Randy and Syntell. But like I feel like as a writer, like from a writing perspective, they had a plan for a new big bad, as we kind of mentioned briefly. And then they were just like, we just gonna do it. You know what I mean? Okay, we done with that. Now let's go on to the next one.
Yeah, like the whole entire build up was like everybody that's a DC fan was like, okay, it's all about Trigon. It's always about Trigon. We got to the end of season 1, there was no Trigon in Trigon form. And we were like, really?
Yeah.
And then season 2, like, oh, we finally got Trigon. They're like, oh, we just
And
killed
they
him.
gave
We
you
killed him.
10
We just killed him off. We just
And
killed
then
him.
they only gave him like 10 minutes because
10
the other
minutes.
like
10 minutes.
40
They
minutes
spent-
of them
was on them
having
being in the extra
their
world.
killer dreams. And I'm like, this is
Right.
just
Okay,
we're gonna move
too
forward.
long.
Because we know one thing we knew for certain, the Titans did nothing to stop Trigon.
nothing.
Well, it was Gar. It was Gar and his friendship connecting to Rachel.
Yeah.
So
Friendship.
Man, he was in love with her.
I mean,
He
it's
was
a
gone off
YA
Rachel.
show.
He took her
you know
home.
What I'm
He
saying?
took her home. He's like, yo, you're gonna be my family. You can be my family of messed up people. You know a dude loves a girl when he takes her home to see his messed up relatives. Like, boo, I love you so much. I'm gonna let you meet my crazy ass cousins and my relatives. You know he loved her. You know he loved that girl.
But again,
My
I
cousins
needed
would
Beast
embarrass
Boy to
me.
turn it up just a little bit more. I still wanted my Beast Boy from Teen Titans Go. I want like, hey mama, I wanted some more energy from
Yeah,
Beast
he had
Boy,
no
man.
energy.
Yeah, and to kind of
Well,
like
he has
and
no
to kind of
swag.
piggyback on that too, like they teased us and then didn't even give us like the full, like they blue balled me with Beast Boy, because in that first season, in the very first episode, you see the snake, right? And then he transforms from the snake, and I'm like, oh hell yeah, he's finally learning how to like transform from other animals. And you don't see him transforming into nothing else for the rest of the season. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah,
That's
they
it.
played
You gonna
us
give
with
me
that.
the snake and that's it? That's it? Nothing else?
Yeah, they played us with
but
that.
I think Gar's whole arc in season 2 was really just of like trying to be the glue that holds
Speak on it.
everybody together,
Yeah.
And I don't think it necessarily worked, but I do think that was his role. That's what he was relegated
Speak on
to.
it. Yeah, because
And
think about it.
I felt go ahead.
Like who Gar is. Gar was part of the Doom Patrol family. He's used to being misfit characters being together, and he's looking for family. Gar just wants family.
Yeah, he's trying to
looking
he
for
wants
family.
everybody to be happy.
He wants people to
And
be
somebody
happy. Y'all get
who
along.
spends time
and we
like
just
trying
be-
to fix it in all my friendships and relationships.
Yeah.
I'm like, just I want everybody to be happy.
Yeah, and he
I
and he wants to be that one dude that actually is a Titan. Like I have this crew of badasses and we do good together. He wanted to be that guy. But we didn't get that guy. We didn't get that guy.
I felt with almost all of the characters, they spent more time with their internal conflict than we did fighting our big bad villain.
Absolutely.
Bruce Wayne was just all in Robin, and they beat that theme over and over. They had a whole episode entitled "Bruce Wayne" talking about Robin.
Yes.
I thought we had solved that like in season 1, and we were moving past that. But like
We
it
never
just
saw
kept-
him.
Yeah, it just kept
We
coming
never
out.
saw Bruce.
Yeah,
But
Rachel.
let's be
with her-
honest though. The Bruce Wayne actor is probably the best actor in the series.
Yeah, no, he was great. He was great.
Sir
but it's just
Jorah.
like-
Sir Jorah.
It's like
He'll always
Game
be
of
Sir
Thrones.
Jorah.
He will always be Sir Jorah.
Always.
like
Looking for Khaleesi.
Y'all are so stupid.
But
Y'all
like,
are so
even
stupid.
like Beast Boy's dealing with his internal conflict. Connor, who we haven't even talked about, his internal conflict, Robin, his internal conflict. We had all these internal conflicts, and we had like one of the greatest villains. We should have had more interaction with the villains, more fight scenes with the villain. I know you're a big action guy, Chuck, and Syntell too. Like I felt all the time we felt with them getting in touch with their feelings and figuring out their baggage. We could have had more engagement with our villains. That's how I felt.
We could,
with the exception of Starfire. She was the only one that seemed to have a purpose. Like, I know who I am, and I'm fighting for what I'm going to do.
Finally, she knows who she is.
And she's
finally.
Fine. And she's fine.
Oh my goodness.
They could give me more Anna Diop. They could left Anna Diop on the screen in every scene.
No,
I'd have been good.
Absolutely. And the dude with the psychiatrist, like the psychiatrist dude, when she's taking him back to his place, and she's like, you just having problems. You're acting out. Ain't no guy in the history of malehood gonna have a woman that fine. Gonna be like, well, I just want to psychoanalyze you.
She wants to hook up with you, and she fine, and you want to like help
you up in this penthouse hotel with her.
She's literally unzipping your pants and like, let's get it in.
Right. And you're like, well, I feel like you're not here. What? I'll tell you where you need to be. Where you need to be.
I'm gonna give it up for Colonel Walters, aka Jason Todd. He was one of my favorite actors in this series. He was just the guy that was like, I'm just a loose cannon. I'm gonna be the best Robin. I'm gonna be the one to replace Batman when this is all said and done with. I really enjoyed watching him this season. You know, even when he fell for the girl, I'm like, come on, guy, come on.
I like season 1 Jason Todd better, personally.
I agree because this Jason Todd was a little bit, whooshy. And I think that Titans kind of copped out a little bit because you got him, gets kicked out of a window, and everybody knows in comic lore that Jason Todd dies. Okay.
Yes.
So here I am like, they're gonna do it. Only to have Connor save him. And I'm like,
it was such a random save, so random.
And there's another origin story. I was like, how many origin stories are we gonna have in this season?
But it's not. But it wasn't just origin stories. It was like recaps. It was like, okay, just to let you know why everybody's broken.
Yeah, everybody in the series is quite broken. We have to.
Everybody's broken.
Everybody's
Pink
broken.
Panda Palace is like, I'm trying to find out if I need to see this, and we gonna get there. we gonna get there.
Basically, it was interesting. It was interesting. The acting did improve in season 2, though, across for everybody. Because even
it's because there was so many more dramatic opportunities.
Yes,
there was less fighting. There was not as much fighting. So.
Here's the thing:
for a superhero show full of superheroes, there's no fighting in this show.
But that's true. But we got to see the team, the previous team, united. At, you know what I mean, in a common goal against Deathstroke. So, which is something, we talked about in the last week's episode, is that there wasn't a team, and it was a lot of world building. So I felt like I felt really connected to the team, per se. Like I got really into like Aqualad, and I gotta tell you, I was like just heartbroken when
I didn't see that
found out, and I was like, wait a minute.
They kind of gave it to Aqualad.
Being a land,
they just take him back to the fishes?
Would a bullet
and
just
kill him? And they just take him back to the fishes.
I thought that too.
Yeah, like a regular would a bullet just kill him? One shot?
But we're gonna talk about how soft some of these sidekicks are because of the way
Aqualad as an actor.
Wonder Girl went out was so bad. But we'll talk about that later.
I'm still not convinced she did. Like you can't.
And I don't know why wasn't Superboy? Why couldn't Superboy?
Man.
Why couldn't Superboy go on and stop that? I thought that
was odd too.
I did too.
We'll get there. We'll get there, guys. Y'all moving ahead of yourselves. Y'all moving way too far ahead. Let's talk about Drew Van Ackers as Aqualad. I was like, okay, they got Aqualad to the crew.
I was excited by Aqualad.
And I was like, oh man, we got Aqualad. We're going to talk about Aqualad. Aqualad is in the crew. I was kind of shocked because the Aqualad that I like is a black kid. Ever since Young Justice, that Aqualad is the Aqualad that is Aqualad is dope. Where he's a Black Mantis's son, who was actually kept by the king to keep Black Mantis at bay. I like that.
Oh, really?
That was my Aqualad. Yes.
That's the story in the comics or Young Justice?
So in the comic book.
So basically, he's like Theon Greyjoy.
He's Dion Greyjoy. Yes, yes, yes.
That is
You
a
keep going back to
great comparison.
Game of Thrones.
That's because
Courtney,
Game
keep
of
going back
Thrones
to Game
books
of
are the
Thrones.
Hey,
goats.
even when we talked about what you call it, we had Game
Well
of
done.
Thrones. When we talked about what was it? The last series we did because
Yeah, we talked about because we talked about Dub
Oh
being
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah. Gangs of London.
Yeah,
Yep.
Gangs of London. We had Game of Thrones reference too.
Oh, look, we gotta stop. Game of Thrones references are not allowed anymore.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I was just trying to like connect it. For
Drew
people.
Van Ackers, he did a really good job playing Aqualad. I gave
so.
in to
He
him
did.
because he was
I
a good
liked him.
dude. Like, and he was all about Donna. This is YA as YA can get. Since I've been 12, the clownfish. Like, yeah, you said clownfish is in tropical areas, and one came up to the water, and then she was like, "Oh, that was."
I meant to
you."
bring some orange soda so we could I could toast. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
but Donna Straight was
Troy
gonna ghost
my favorite
Aqualad.
character in this series.
Oh, was.
She
She hit it and quit it and left. She was going back to
Yo, I was
Themyscira.
so mad at her. I was like, "How you
Yeah.
gonna leave Aqualad?"
She was like, "Thanks for the dick," and I'm out.
Right.
yeah.
But I mean,
showed
you know,
up
like them was
hard.
scared. But here's the thing: it's about loyalty. Like her people asked her to come home. Like, we need you to come home. You know, like you're getting a little far away from us, and we need you to reconnect with the folks.
Yeah.
So I can't really be mad at her for wanting to go back. What my problem is
She
that
went back
you didn't
early.
tell old dude. Yeah,
Right.
you went back early and you weren't even gonna say
She's been
bye.
ghosting.
Like that's
Yeah,
where
she
I was
ghosted
like,
you.
yo,
So
girl.
she's like, I got that fish penis, and I'm
Right.
out.
She's like, I told that
you went
shit up.
shape
He
of
was
water
not
and shipped out.
right. She put him in fetal. He was laying in the bed.
And we had snitch ass Dick over here. He snitched on her. Like, she didn't tell you what's really going on.
I mean, you know, Dick ain't right.
You know, Dick snitched on us. Snitchy Dick over here.
It's never gonna get old. It's never gonna get old. I'm sorry.
I did because I jumped in before he was gonna say something.
you know, we'll let him go out there and do that. And let's talk. So we had introduced Aqualad. I was hoping he would have stayed in the series. It'd been nice to have him in the series. Like, he'd been the one, like, I'm a free spirit girl. I'm going jumping back in this ocean and swim with these fish. And she was like, don't leave me. But that didn't happen at all. Deathstroke came out of nowhere. And what did Deathstroke do? What Deathstroke does best: kill a motherfucker.
But we
Yes,
have to
sir.
go
But I
back.
love-
We got to roll back as to why and reason why Deathstroke. He didn't just decide, I'm gonna, kill me some fish tonight. Like he had a real reason, which is Jericho.
Yes, Jericho.
But his target was old girl, right?
Yeah, I was about
Donna.
to say was the other Themysciran lady. whatever
Yeah.
her name
And who
is.
was
Yeah.
she? I don't know who was she.
Was she just supposed to? I
Some
mean, I feel like
bigwig.
she was just like the number one. You know what I mean? She's
Yeah.
like
And speaking of Jericho, Eastside
Not Wonder
Morales
Woman, number one. She was like number one.
was Deathstroke, his dad. He played that role well.
Yeah, he
I
elevated
seen
the
Eastside
game, man.
Morales. Yeah,
Eastside
Morales.
Morales.
Yeah.
He is.
Crushed
He's an incredible
beasted.
actor. So when I
Yeah.
saw that he
Beasted.
was gonna be in it, I was like, "Yo, y'all went hard, and he gonna be the villain."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He elevated the whole cast. I thought
He
any
did.
scene with him elevated the
Yes.
whole scene. Yeah.
Every scene he was in was dope.
Everything he
Every
brought
game. And
emotionally,
that-
you felt it.
Yeah, that those father-son moments was on
Yes.
the money. I had a couple times, I almost had to kind of like half look away. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's just dust. It's
I
just
remember when
dust.
Deathstroke popped up in Arrow, in the Arrowverse, and it was played by Man Bennett. And I was like, this is okay.
Yeah,
And I was like, this
Manu
is
Bennett
okay.
from,
Manu Bennett, yeah. And I was like, this is okay.
Spartacus.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
Will
Like,
Smith
this is
played
good.
him. Will Smith played him, and I thought the guy who
Talk
played it
about
on
that.
the series, he
Easy.
crushed. Yeah.
Eastside Morales
Yeah.
crushed it. Will Smith played
Eastside
Will Smith
Morales,
as
but-
I'm
Deathstroke.
not gonna talk about the Will Smith version.
Okay.
The character who
okay.
really struck me though.
Sorry, Syntell. That seemed a little sore personal spot with you.
I know you
got
real
everything.
hurt about it. But the
Yeah,
the character that really got to
disappointment.
me was Jericho. Because for someone who is, he's signing, that's how he uses, the language he uses to communicate and to convey such emotion and passion in the way that he was talking. Like, I was in it with that kid. He was, he and Eastside Morales, they were kind of my MVPs. Like
Yes.
the two of them brought heart and compassion and badassery, because Jericho wasn't nothing to like sleep on. You know what I mean?
No. I thought so too. Matter of fact, Pink Panda Palace asks us what character is shine in season 2 versus season 1.
That was
They
mine.
all stepped up their game, but Jericho and Esai Morales. I don't know the character that played Jericho, but
I don't know the actor's name. He was wonderful.
Let's look it up really quick. You know, let's
give him a shout out.
Yeah, Deathstroke was just super dope.
Put that grown
I was rooting for him.
ass whooping on Robin, boy.
He sure did. In the church.
He was like, y'all just playing superheroes. I'm gonna show you how a real man.
Talk about fight scenes, like without fight scenes, you know what I mean? Like, because you expect at least some sort of interaction in Titans, you know, because it's a DC universe, comic book and cartoons. And like, I agree with you guys. There wasn't enough action. There was a lot of build up. And, you know, trying to get to ultimately Robin finally figuring out Dick Grayson. I'll say Dick Grayson, trying to figure out that he wants to be Nightwing. Yeah. So all of that angst and whatnot.
Yep.
We're not even talking about that.
A little earlier.
We fucking costume up.
Yeah.
Costume up.
We had 26 episodes. We did not need 26 episodes for him to get to Nightwing. Like, we all knew it was coming. Like, I needed that to be in like episode 4 or something.
I needed that. He met Jason Todd. It was like, oh, you the new Robin? Well, I'm gonna be somebody else too.
He said that to Donna in the first season. He said, I'm gonna be something else in season like 8 or 9 or something like that. So it's like,
to the last episode, right?
Something else. So, you know, after Trigon died, you should have had a new costume.
Right. We needed something to look. It took too long to get to that point.
I get they wanted to do it big, but.
And it was such a waste of good fight choreography. I actually think the fight choreography in this season was better than it was in the first season. You just only got a quarter of it. Probably the brother that plays Dick Grayson, the dude, Brenton Thwaites, I forgot his. I can't really say his name. That scene when he's shadow boxing with Bruce Wayne, like his form, the way that he was everything was crisp, and I'm like, dude, you've been studying. It looks thorough. There was nothing that looked like it was going to be a stunt actor. And then, you know, and then we were going into to Deathstroke's fight scenes. Like it was all just phenomenal. And we only had like 4 good scenes. Like, such a
maybe
waste.
That's all Esai Morales was contracted for. But you know what I'm saying?
But Jericho, the actor of Jericho, let's give a shout out to that guy. His name is Chella Man.
He was fantastic. Excellent. He was amazing.
When he came on the scene, when he first came on the scene in the record store, he was cool then.
He was, and I was mad at them for like using him. I was very not offended, but like, here's a kid who clearly wants to be a part of your crew, and you're willing to use him, which, in my opinion, goes against. I understand you're trying to get Deathstroke, but you're willing to use a kid who's revealing himself, like been told he can never show that he has abilities or anything like that.
Being vulnerable.
And and you just don't, you know what I mean? Like you just continue on with your plan. Even I think the only one who had a potential problem with it was Dawn. You know, she's the only one who spoke up and was like, yo, are we really going to do this? You know, and everybody else just doubled down. So even though I was sad Aqualad died, I can't really. You earned that.
Let's talk about Dawn. Dawn hit the homie. She hit the homie. She hit the homie in the crew. She hit the homie. She
homie hopping. Is that what you saying?
Dick Grayson, and she was with Dick Grayson. We were like, "What? What's going on here?" Then she went back to Hank.
Yeah. So like, but here's the thing. She told Hank in the first season, that didn't happen. But it did. You know what I'm saying? And you said we can't be there, like we can't be like that. But you went and had some dick. And then you gonna come back to Hank like, okay, I'm ready.
After Dick Grayson was skeet and went about his own business.
Yeah, she was like, I can't wait for you to put that stick on my ass.
But she never really, even when Rachel met her the first time in like episode 2 or 3, Rachel shook her hand and was still feeling the feelings.
Yeah.
She was like, yo, it's not over for her.
And you didn't even have to touch.
Man,
Go ahead.
when Dick came on the scene,
Yeah, that's what I was about to
like,
say. When she opened that door and she saw him, she was like, "Oh my God,
Yeah,
I'm about to
yeah.
fuck him
Yeah.
again."
Like her heart, but her heart, like
Let's
you saw
talk
her
about
skip like
him.
9 beats. Like 9 beats were lost, and that's why Hank he wasn't right. Why is
Right.
he here?
Yeah.
And I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hank
Hank
already
already
here.
knew.
Hank
He
had
was
it
like,
right. You know what she smelled like. I can't.
Right.
I never
Hank's
be right about
powers?
this. You know what she smelled like. Now let's talk about even further how Dick, when he walked in the room house with Trigon, he had Dawn pregnant. She was pregnant.
Yeah.
Already had a
That was
baby.
They were like at the
no,
house, right?
they had a family already. They had a
family
They
kid
had a
and
family
already a
chilling
family.
at the house, like
Yeah.
All the way booed
wanted
up.
her too.
He was
All the way
booed
booed
up.
up,
He was like,
fam.
I don't
All
have to
the
go
way.
if you don't want me to go. She's like, no, go save Bruce. Go save the guy that adopted you and made you a billionaire.
Yo, and the minute he left, who did she have up in the house helping
Hank
with
was
the
painting, wasn't he?
Hank up in there painting.
Right.
Yo,
And he's over
Dawn is
in like, wasn't
scandalous.
he in like Gotham City? And she's like, yeah, he's just helping.
Right. And she's like,
Yeah,
"Why are
he
you
helping
getting
all right.
mad?
Back
You
and
don't
forth,
have
back
any
and forth.
right."
Yeah,
Playing
yeah.
yo-yo.
But that was Dick's dream. Dick Grayson's dream was Hank was gonna be up in the house helping my wife when I'm not there. There's some shady stuff.
the
going
reality
I need
is
somebody. I
that
need
he's
somebody
not
to
there.
tell me what
How
Hank's
did Dick
They needed-
powers
Grayson
are.
go through
They
life?
needed that
and-
therapist
Anybody
that
know?
was hooking up with Homegirl, hooking up with Starfire.
Yeah.
Can anybody tell me what Hawk's powers are? Anybody? I'm just curious.
He doesn't have
Okay,
any.
it's a powerful drug.
Fucking Dawn.
Like
Cocaine.
it's just
It's
just
a
coke,
pop-
right? Yeah,
it's
that's
right.
just
Yeah,
okay.
that's pretty much it.
'Cause-
Him and Dawn.
'Cause at least- 'cause at
Dawn
least
apparently
Well,
She got some
Dawn at
fight
least
training.
knows. Well, yeah, she knows jujitsu.
Judo,
At least
right?
that.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she knows
Yeah.
jujitsu. But he was just
He's
a
just a football
player. I'm like,
Yeah.
word. That's just.
I mean, it's like
superpower is
Robin, right?
football.
Let's
Here's
Robin's
the
powers
thing.
outside
Batman
being
doesn't
trained by
have a
Batman.
power. Batman
Yeah.
just trained.
Yeah, but he knows martial arts. Like, I'm sorry, but football is not a martial art.
He's the Nate
It's
Robinson of the DC world.
It isn't. It isn't.
It's just not.
It isn't. It isn't. Maybe they could fight growing up. I mean, I don't know.
But I got the fight. He could fight.
Him and his
some. He
little
just wasn't-
smart
got the
brother over
Heisman
there
Trophy.
fighting crime and they got no skills. I'm like, where?
They had hands. They had street hands. You know,
Yeah, he had hands.
He's Kimbo Slice over here. He's Kimbo
Okay.
slicing it.
Mm-mm.
But okay. So we had them. We have Dove and Hank. We already talked about them a little bit. We know why Hank got stank face in front of Dick Grayson because Dick had old girl booed up at one point.
But what
I don't
about-
understand how Dick Grayson did not have Donna Troy. Like
I don't understand that either because
when you
like
saw her as a teenager, she was fly. She was fly as
she
a
was
teenager.
cool,
I'm like,
and
dang.
That was his
she's
friend,
person.
man.
Like, but she's his person.
She wasn't a
you
friend
know
when
what
he
I mean?
first met her.
Yeah, but still, like I could see that because that's the one relationship he doesn't want to lose, right? Because she's like the only person that knows what he's going through. She's the only person that's been adopted by a superhero
yeah, I mean,
that he
that's-
knows, and so he's talking to her like this is the homie forever. And I
That's
could
what
see
broke him. I think that's what sent him to like, I'm taking myself to jail. I mean, after, you know what I mean?
Oh God, that just went on forever and ever and
yeah.
ever.
I was like, how he gonna be in jail?
I could
Freaking
care
Robin.
less
No,
about
let's
his
talk about the
little
next-
jail
Be in
mates
jail.
too. I was like,
We
I
got one more
don't care.
But we gotta talk about Starfire and her whole situation and her like family troubles.
Yeah, her family trouble, her sister, Blackfire.
Hey,
Yeah.
I mean, she did leave.
Damn.
She left the throne. I mean, it's like
Damn, man.
What you want me to do is
right. What you want me to do? Just wait here for you to go sow your wild oats? Was this coming to America? Like you go sow your wild oats on Earth, and then you come back
But
when you
she
get
had to
ready?
send somebody to kill her. You know, she ain't have to see. She want to make sure she
Agreed. But you know, she had to shoot her shot. She's a little slow, right? She's not as talented, right? You know, so
Obviously.
she had to shoot her shot when she had it. So I'm like,
But she shot her shot and killed old dude, like the dude who was loyal,
He was-
her loyal guard of
yeah.
Starfire.
He was sent there to retrieve her. He fell in love again. He got whipped, and you know,
Yeah, he was there. He was the guard of the royal family. And he was in love with her.
Nope.
He sure didn't.
Nah, he
Not
did.
a,
Got
not,
locked. He got locked
not
up in her car.
And was done.
She was like sitting.
I mean, they hooked up when they were on like whatever their planet is called. I
yeah,
forgot.
Tamarian,
Tamaran.
Tamarin, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know
They
what? I
hooked up
wouldn't-
there, but not back in Earth. You know.
I'm not sleeping on her sister because I mean she bodied her own family, her own mom and dad,
Yeah.
and sent
And
killers.
she's the big bad.
and
she's the
sent
big
killers,
bad
yeah.
for the season 3.
Absolutely. And I hope we get more of her and we don't get all this introspection that we got in season 2. My opinion.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about Superboy, aka Connor Kent.
AKA I only got one face.
Let me ask you all something. So
I'm like, yo, you don't got no other.
Dog was more interesting.
Right. Let me ask you all something. In the season finale, right, Connor, basically Dick Grayson goes in and breaks the spell. So then he turns on the Cadmus Project. Why didn't, as a backup plan, they have kryptonite bullets?
Why doesn't anybody have them? I always wondered that just in the DC lore.
Because they just started shooting. She was like, get him. And they're just shooting bullets. She know those bullets have no effect on him. Why didn't they have a backup plan for
I thought they did have kryptonite bullets. Didn't they have them at the beginning?
Not at the end.
When he got out?
No, not at the end.
Not at the end.
Right, but I think they didn't want to kill him because he was their only
come
project that worked.
Bullets don't hurt him either. You want to kill him. You want to injure him.
Right.
You shoot him in the leg with a kryptonite bullet, he's going to be limping.
Right.
He's going to be limping.
They shoot at the chest with machine
shot
guns.
off his pinky toe.
Right.
Shot off his pinky toe.
Right. Yeah, but they shooting at him. I was like, why didn't this is Cadmus? They're supposed to be a step ahead. Why didn't anybody have any kryptonite bullets? To at least slow him down.
Well, I didn't understand. Like once they downed him the first time, I'm like, why don't y'all just scoop him up? Y'all shot him. He's down. Just go get him. They shot him and was like, all right, we're done, and walked away. I'm like, y'all like go get him?
Yeah.
I didn't, but what do I know? Well, it's just common sense. So I'm gonna shut up.
Yeah.
What about
I thought his character? I thought when they did the introduction of his character, they just focused too much on it. And they introduced Cadmus, and I was like, I'm more interested in what they do than who he is. And he's like the goofy kid. I don't know anything about this, and I want that shirt right there. And he haven't picked the Superman shirt. It's like this is corny.
Terrible.
This is corny.
Yeah, and has no idea what money is. But I mean, my thing was not the second time when he went out and he and Gar, because Gar was trying to keep the team together after everybody left. When he went out and just went wild, you know what I mean? And Gar ran off and left him.
Come out. And Gar's like, I'm not little. This is not what I signed up for.
He did him like Peter.
He's like, this is not what I signed up for. I'm out. I'm ghost.
He's straight.
Nice knowing you, brother. Nice knowing you, brother.
Right? You're supposed to at least have your boys back.
Yeah, you can't go around killing cops for no reason. Like something, he ghosted, man. It was.
He just bounced. He didn't even turn into a tiger.
He's like, I ain't with this dude. I don't know him.
We ain't friends.
Like,
I just met him. Don't come for me.
Beat his ass. I'm like, you gonna leave me? I'm stuck after you got done preaching to me all about team.
Exactly.
You just gonna leave.
You the one hyping me up, talking about we save people and all that stuff.
He killed a cop, dog. I don't know about you all. If somebody kills a cop, I don't care what kind of team we are.
But Crypto was like, what about me, man?
I don't blame Gar at all. I turn into a motherfucking tiger. They're gonna shoot me for real. I'm out.
He was.
I don't blame Gar for that. Yeah. Y'all are horrible. He saw a cop get killed. He ain't supposed to be there.
Still, I don't know if his homie. For that. He ain't got no friends. He don't even know what money is.
Man, he's a white boy that's indestructible. I'm a Hispanic guy that turns into a tiger and killed. I am out. Come on, y'all playing over here. Don't blame Gar for doing the most natural, instinctual thing you're supposed to do when you see somebody kill a cop. You run.
No, that's true. He might not even have his papers because he's like Congolese too, right? He might not even have his papers. So,
if he did run, y'all be like, why didn't Gar run? He know he ain't indestructible. He's why Superboy kill a cop.
He was like, I can't be
Come on, y'all know better than that. Come on.
But
even right.
But okay, going back, the scene where Starfire woke Connor up.
Yes.
With her abilities. What kind of power was that? Her? It was her and Rachel, right?
Yeah.
How do you make that work? Now she's like Charles Xavier and
Rachel was kind of getting
powers. Is that what it is? Because Starfire.
Because she's
from the
sun.
Yeah.
I see.
And children of Krypton recharge from the red sun.
That was lost on me.
That's the only thing I can.
Yellow sun, the red sun,
Krypton.
Krypton.
Yellow sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Krypton has a red sun.
Okay, we have one more new character. Chelsea Zhang playing the daughter of Deathstroke. And what was Chelsea's character's name? I forgot Chelsea's character's name. That's how fast I forgot. Rose Wilson, the Ravager.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Rose Wilson. We knew her as Rose Wilson more than we knew her as Ravager.
Yeah.
Like the Ravager name didn't stick.
I didn't know
me.
he had a daughter.
Apparently, that's a big character in the comics. Is Ravager?
Yes, Ravager.
And I guess the character died. It was a guy at first, and then in the comic, I think I'm assuming that she picks up the mantle. So I think they were trying to do a hat tip to that. I think.
Yeah. What y'all think about them aligning her with Jason Todd?
She softened up Jason Todd and made his character worse. And she can't dance.
Dang.
She should never dance again. You know what? Hold on. Let me defend her real quick, because it wasn't her fault that she can't dance. She probably can dance. It's just that the sync was off. I'm like, she ain't catching not now one of these beats. She'd be like, Jason, I could teach you how to dance. I'm like, bitch, you don't even know how to dance. Talking about people that can dance. But whatever. No, Jason Todd was a beast until he met her, and then he got soft and whiny. I took you to my safe spot, and you don't love me anymore. I'm like, this is the worst.
Yeah, that was kind of random
to that
and weird.
guy.
Yeah, he was like,
but that's the best acting we've seen out of this character, though. I'm tough, Jason Todd. I kick your ass, Dick.
I'm just ready for him to become the Red Hood, because.
Oh yeah, but
he's supposed to be Red Hood in season 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
As he should, but that moment where he stood up to Jason Todd and tried to like get all up in his face, I think it was like episode 2.
Grayson,
And then Dick Grayson like mushed him into the ground. I was like, oh, don't you ever step up to the mic again like that again.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. Them grown man ass whoopers like these kids. They grow up.
He got sunned. He got sunned real fast.
Yeah, right. You know
that's why nobody messes with Batman from the Titans or anybody, because he get that grown man ass whooping.
Right.
He hands him out.
He beating Dick Grayson's ass in his mind. He ain't even got to be present.
He wasn't even real when he gave him that word.
Dick Grayson's ass.
Right. He was
still waking up thinking about them ass whooping. So
speaking of Batman being in people's mind,
the girl
get all the women to the damn diner.
You pulled the words right out of my mouth. I was like, this weird girl trip that just happened because Bruce Wayne psychically sent them there.
Hey, everybody thinks about Batman, even the women. They may fuck with Dick Grayson, but they really want Batman.
Nobody fucks with Batman.
I needed a Batman fight scene, man. I don't know. When Deathstroke was beating the hell out of Dick Grayson, I was just like, come on, Batman, save him.
But the TV show Titans.
Right. He ain't ready for this.
Sidekick show.
Right. He ain't ready for
y'all
this.
mess with that. Y'all wrong for this.
But this Batman is like 50, man.
So now we have a full ensemble cast.
This is like basically Batman Beyond.
Right. Yeah, the full ensemble cast.
More money doing that.
Let's focus on the thing that didn't happen that we really wanted to see happen. We call that shit action.
Closure.
Oh, dang. We got closure with Aqualad. We got closure with him. We did.
We did. I thought it was a really very interesting turn to find out that Jericho was still alive and with Deathstroke the whole time.
Yes.
That was pretty clever. I mean, I had figured it out. Yeah. But I was like, still like the mom was being weird, when she let Dick Grayson into the house to like go and talk, like there and there. I'm like, there. Who else is in there? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I did think that was very clever, and I liked that Jericho was trying to take over to explain like what happened, because the whole season Dick and all the rest of them have been blaming themselves for Jericho's death, only to find out that Jericho's not actually dead.
No, hiding his father. Yep.
Yeah. How'd y'all think how that ended? Deathstroke had to be to suppress his son all the time, like, because when we saw Jericho, he was taking over people full body. Deathstroke still held him in check, and was able to operate him with it. Even when he was trying to push him into the bus,
traffic.
Yeah, he was like, "Good try, son."
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Look, I know, I keep beating this dead horse, but I got to give a shout out to Deathstroke's costume. I mean, his costume is bananas.
Yes.
And same with Nightwing's too. Like both of them.
Yeah.
Like the costumes in this series is some of the best in DC cinematic history.
It looks like
that
real
I've
functional
seen.
costumes.
Yeah.
Like even Hawk and Dove's winged costume.
Dove's costume is my favorite. Like I love her costume.
Yeah, and they had the blades on the wings and stuff. It's pretty dope. They did a really good job in costuming all the way around here. The only thing I don't like is Beast Boy turned into the tiger because it looks like a fake ass tiger. I was like, come on, y'all gotta get y'all's visual effects up. Y'all gotta bring that up. You just
call him Tiger Boy. It'd be a little bit more accurate.
Well, we got to get him Beast some Boy until no one's called him. Actually, no one's actually called him Beast Boy because he hasn't actually turned into any other beast other than the tiger.
The tiger.
So
and then the snake that one time.
And the snake that one time. Yes, that's
one time. One time.
He
give me blue balls like that.
Well, yeah. He turned into a snake one time.
Man.
This story was heavily relationship this second season. I mean, there's been a couple of times where I fell asleep on episodes. I was gonna put that out there. I'm watching late night, and next thing you know, I'm looking at episode 3, and my eyes open back up, and it's episode 6, and I'm like, oh my god, I haven't do 4 and 5. Then I go back and watch them. I'm like, man, I could have probably slept through those.
And it wasn't bad. It was just too much introspection, man. I know we keep talking about it. We needed a little bit more action in the pace in the move, a little bit more briskly.
Yeah, it's like we're gonna give you more characters and more conversations.
The first season was 10 episodes, and the second season was 13.
Yeah.
They even
and
had
this
3
season
more
should have been
episodes.
8. Yeah, this season.
Right. I thought we could have got it down to about 8 to 10. I thought because a lot of that stuff, a lot of that jail sequence with Dick Grayson, we did not need at all. It was just a complete waste of
you didn't want him to free those guys.
So
the guys
frustrated.
Let's talk about that, right? Dick Grayson goes to jail.
All that just to get a spirit animal. That's all that shit was. It was just a quest to find his spirit animal.
And gets himself arrested.
Right.
Yes.
Only a white man would go to an airport and get himself
I'm glad I didn't say that. I was thinking that too.
and not get lost or renditioned.
And still get white privilege.
And still get privilege.
He was going to have his own cell and everything. He had to literally turn it down.
He was on it.
He was like, will you please stop helping me out?
Like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm like, you ready?
He got it. He got the offer twice.
Electric chair. Like,
right.
What?
Yes.
Right. He got the offer twice.
Would have been shot. Like, come on.
Yeah. Then when he was trying to get out, he went back and yelled like, I'm not, y'all go on and go. Y'all go on and go. I was like, this is horrible. And Batman whipped that ass again mentally and solitary confinement.
Had him sweating and shadowboxing in his drawers. It's like,
laying on the
Batman,
floor,
you got him like that?
Right, laying on the floor in his underwear because he's got a fever and his
But I think but I think he had to like wrestle with that demon in order to, from a writing perspective, in order to become himself. Because for somebody who spends so much time wrapped up in someone else's shadow, there does come an unraveling. You know what I mean? Yes. Like he has to unravel himself from Batman in order to discover his own identity, because he didn't even know who he is anymore. You gotta think about it. He was taken in by Bruce Wayne when he was 11.
Yeah.
He was 11 years old. So I mean, he's been indoctrinated.
And he passed up on hot ass Donna, so he doesn't know himself. Then he stole Hank's girlfriend. Then he stole Hank's girlfriend.
How you gonna pass up an Amazonian? I'm sorry.
And I get that, but I just didn't need 3 episodes exclusively.
Yeah, we didn't need 3 episodes of that. And Batman getting them all to go to the diner, getting all the women to go to the diner.
Well, we still don't know what's up with that because Bruce Wayne said he'd never been there, so we don't know what's the storyline. What's the gap with there? We don't know that.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe it was Chelsea Zane as a Ravager. I don't know. Maybe she got him their mental powers, or who knows.
And we kind of got a little bit more Rachel with the statue came to life and killed that one guy, and we didn't get an explanation from that.
The father of the girl the homeless girl she was with. Yeah,
that was kind of random too. So I don't know if that's Trigon or what's going on.
And what the girl said when her father died. And she was happy. She's like, I'm sorry that was not me. I'm sorry that happened. She was like, nah, bitch. I'm glad. He used to beat me till I peed blood. Fuck that shit. Yeah, I'm glad he's dead.
That was
I was
terrible.
like, okay, that's some real stuff.
Randy, that was terrible.
There. Yeah. And let's talk
How-
about the very end, right? Donna's in the coffin. They put the lasso on the coffin. They load it up. Who
But
was the Amazonian that was staring at Dick when she says, "We'll take her home"? And she was staring. I was like, "Oh, they probably gonna introduce her in next season 3 too."
well, hopefully they take her home and take her to like the Lazarus pit or some shit and like
And
wake
bring her back to
up.
life.
You know what I mean? Because like I don't like that Donna died. I'm not okay.
And it was
with
And
whack.
it's such a whack way.
was
Yeah,
lame.
yeah.
It was so
I was like, why did Superboy fly over there and hold that rail?
That's
up
what
and
I
push it
thought.
over
I
to
was
the
like,
side?
where was he?
being Connor, and all
I
his
was
white
like, hold
privilege
on,
privilege of not
where
doing
is
nothing?
Superboy? Is he getting a hot dog?
Yeah.
Like, Carnival? Like, what are you doing? Where
one minute they
were
were-
you?
Yeah, 1 minute they were all together, then the thing broke, and Wonder Girl rushed over there. I'm like, where's Connor? Like he would
You can fly.
that would not be a problem for him
He
at
can
all.
fly. He can use laser eyes. He could.
Yeah,
he could
it can
actually get
fall on him and
electrocuted and
break.
nothing happened to him.
Yeah, it could
Yeah, I
fall
thought
on
that
him
was
and break and not impact him at all. Like,
Yeah,
that was
I
like,
thought that was. I
ugh,
thought that
what?
was interesting. I thought that was interesting
Such
too.
a waste.
So they put her.
Such
They
a
put her on.
waste.
So everybody's there chilling, and they're all black. They load her up on the airplane, and then Rachel turns around, and is like, "I'm going with him. Sorry, Dick, I'm out of here." And she throws a deuce, and she didn't stay by to nobody else.
But why didn't
Everybody's over
Rachel
by
heal
the
her?
car. She
Because
says
Rachel
by
can heal.
What's
And she
up?
can
Why didn't you
possess
think about
souls and
that?
all that
Rachel
stuff.
can heal.
Yeah.
Rachel
That's
can heal.
right.
So
That's
why
true.
didn't she? You healed
Exactly.
the man who was like dying and tried to kill you for like 99 times. You healed that dude and then you killed him. So you healed the deer who was damn near dead. So why didn't you heal Donna?
Well, y'all putting all these holes in the plot, and we
I didn't
don't
peep
need to
that,
be
and that's
doing
very
that
true.
because this is TV. This is TV.
TV.
God.
Well, we know that everybody was there. Jason Todd was on the side on the motorcycle chilling. He was like, I ain't even fucking with you guys no more.
Which that seems weird to me too.
Mhm.
Just he's like, I'm out. And
Yes.
Not really, because it's very Jason Todd. But at the same
Well,
time, he's also a
and
little bit
especially if he's
bitter
gonna be Red
about
Hood
Rose.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like he was
He's bitter
already
about
feeling
Rose.
like he was already feeling like angsty and like left out and vulnerable and shit. You know what I'm saying? He got
Yeah.
feelings. He's all in his feelings. And that's where he's been the entire time we've known him is
Mhm.
in
yeah,
his feelings.
absolutely.
In his
The whole
feelings,
reason
yeah.
he showed up was to like really to meet Dick, not really to like deliver a message that Batman said, oh, Batman sent me to do. Batman didn't send you there. You came on your own. You probably found them little pictures all by yourself.
Yeah.
So it's not, for me, it's not uncharacteristic
I can see
for
that.
this
Okay.
particular Jason Todd.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
with you. Okay. You've
Yeah.
convinced me.
So it's that time of the hour, you guys. The time that everybody's on the show been waiting for. What do y'all give it? Let's talk about the scale. 5 is a binge out. 4 is a full meal. 3 is a mini meal. 2 is a synack. And 1 you just
Syntell?
nibble. And 0, some throw up, some vomit. What are y'all giving it? We're going to start now with, let's start with Randy. Randy, you go first. I want you to go first. I want to hear
Yes,
this from
Randy.
Randy.
You want me to go first? Okay. The first season I really enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
And
Because
the
I know
only
you love
reason
DC. I know how
yeah,
much
I'm a
you
DC
love
person.
DC.
And the only I gave it a full
Mhm.
meal. And the only
Mhm.
reason that I didn't give it a full binge out, I gave it a full meal plus desserts and extras, right? So we're almost to that binge out, right? And the only reason that I didn't, because as Syntell pointed out, and we talked about it, it was the villain, it was the big villain, the big badass villain. We didn't get enough of that, right? So
Mhm.
this season, I'm expecting like Trigon to just fuck up shit, right? I'm expecting this heightened level of anxiety, of near-death collisions, just a real big battle. And I didn't get that. They killed him in the first episode. So then they replaced Trigon with another badass villain, because DC's known for its villains. We got
Yes.
Luthor, we
That's
got
the one thing I love
Trigon,
about
we got
DC.
Darkseid, Harley
Mhm.
Quinn is known for its villains.
Mhm.
And so we got Deathstroke, and I'm loving every interaction with this guy. But we didn't get enough of that. Like we kept, as we've talked about it again and again, we got all this introspection and backstory and not enough fighting with it. So those things really bothered me. And I'm going to have to downgrade because it was the heightened level that we wanted with the badass villains, the interaction. I gave it a full meal. I'm going to have to give it a mini meal.
Okay. So you got one mini meal there. We're gonna go to Syntell next. Syntell, what do you hand this thing?
And it's hard. It's kind of hard to even add on to much to what was just said. I don't understand how you messed Trigon up. I don't understand that. That's a gift in hand.
I mean, Teen Titans Go gets it right every time.
Every time.
Pop him in,
right? Exactly.
Put him back away.
Exactly.
In the 15-minute episode.
You built all of that up to that, and then first of all, I mean, I didn't say on the first season how it was disappointing that you didn't really have the epic big battle, or at least the start of it in the end of the first season, and then to only show 10 minutes of them in the beginning of the second season is just a slap in the face. It's inexcusable. And then you gift us. And then you gift us Deathstroke, and he's amazing and interesting, and you get like a couple of fight scenes, and then he kind of just goes out in a bit of a whimper too. So that was disappointing as well. The problem with this series is it's too much introspection. You know, this is at the heart of its core. It is a comic book a comic book show. It's an action show, and it seems like they're trying to steal the script from the CW and just have it just way too angsty, and it's they got to tighten up. This series should have been 8 episodes at the most for the content that they gave. Yeah, I didn't even mean that, but yeah, they need to tighten up the Titans. It's almost a snack for me. I'm to the point. I'm to the point where if it wasn't for our show, I probably wouldn't watch season 3, because I think I got a good idea of what's to be expected, and that is to be horribly underwhelmed.
Okay. Courtney, what do you think? You giving it? She was laughing at it.
No, I'm laughing at Syntell. It was inexcusable. Amazing. That was just amazing. I'm sorry. I loved it. So I think that, Syntell, whether you meant to or not, you hit the nail on the head, that above all else, it is a YA show. And I think we're adults looking at it from an adult perspective, you know, just because they swear and saying like, fuck this, fuck that, and all this jazz, that they're adults, and they're not. Like they're teenagers. So it's going to be angsty. I think that even Hawk and Dove, you know, Hawk may look 30, but I think he's supposed to be like, 23 or 24. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I'm like, why you with Dawn?
Cocaine's a powerful drug, man. It's a powerful drug.
But like he always looked 40 even in college. But I just feel like everybody is leaning into their brokenness, and it was written that way because they're trying to reach young adults who are also leaning into their brokenness. So, and they're using this opportunity to have comic book characters live this fantastical life, but showcase that they're still regular teenagers that don't know who they are. Yeah. So I'm not saying that that's right or wrong. I think I understand it a little bit, and I'm willing to give them a little leeway. Like I said, I had problems and I had questions. I mean, I'm still mad about Dick Grayson going to the airport and just like, I got a bomb, you know what I mean? Or like whatever he said, I can't even remember because I was so mad. But who does that? It's just rude. And I just think that for me, there are certain characters that I do think that they're really good at building characters. And I am connected to these characters. I'm connected to seeing what happens with Rachel. I want to know what she did in Themyscira. I want to know why she didn't heal Donna. maybe hopefully she figures it out for when we lose another person. You know what I mean? I think it was interesting that Jericho is technically still with us because he's with Rose. So I watched a lot of CW shows, so I mean, I guess I was kind of like, I liked Arrow and I like Flash, so I think that it is Greg Berlanti.
You're doing a lot of validation for your scale. I'm ready to hear it. I'm ready to hear it. You're gonna qualify.
I'm qualifying my answer.
Don't qualify. Tell us what you're giving it, Cortney.
I'm giving it a full meal. For me. It's a full meal.
Oh, okay.
It is, because I can't give it binge worthy because I do have problems, with it. Well, I just problems in general, but I still was connected to everybody. I still was invested in their story, and even though I was irritated with certain things, I was still invested in their story. So I do want to know what happens. Now, if I come to episode 1, season 3, and Donna really is dead, that's a whole nother animal. Okay. That's a whole nother animal.
Okay.
But yeah, I was waiting. Was waiting for Nightwing. Been waiting for Nightwing since episode 1 of season 1. I've been waiting because Nightwing's one of my favorite characters. Once I figured out who Dick Grayson becomes, you know what I mean? Like, I still remember the issue. Well, yeah, I still remember the issue where Batman, Bane broke Batman's back, and Batman chose Azrael to take over the mantle of the Bat, and Nightwing was pissed. Like, what you mean you gave it to some other dude? I'm freaking, what? What I've been doing this for?
Yeah,
been doing this forever. You know what I mean? Like, you gonna give it to somebody else? So it's like I have a connection to Nightwing, and so probably because of my nostalgia, I'm in. So
guys, y'all hear that? It's so sweet.
I am
getting a full meal. So we got a full meal, a snack, and a mini meal right now.
Wait a minute. A full meal, a snack meal. Okay, you didn't give yours. Okay.
I ain't gave mine yet.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a snack. I'm going to give it a snack for one reason only. I want to see superheroes actually fight.
Yeah. I knew you were going to say that. I did.
Actually fight.
It's good.
That's all I want. DC.
All I want, man.
DC. Harley Quinn. They ain't got to do no fighting Harley Quinn. The writing there is immaculate. It is a perfect show. You got a bunch of grown motherfuckers in armored suits standing around in normal clothes talking to each other about their feelings.
Crying and shit.
And there's only 3 teenagers.
No more.
The rest of them are grown-ass adults.
Grown-ass adults. I don't want to see that no more. I don't want to see that no more.
Okay.
I don't want to see that no more.
Maybe we'll get more. I'm thinking now that Nightwing is Nightwing, he'll have less.
He's gonna chase Dove. It's gonna be season 3. Nightwing.
No, he
chasing
gotta get with Corey. He gotta get Corey back. Like, they said,
Corey done moved on.
Once I fix my shit,
done moved on.
Then I'm gonna come. We gonna get it together.
Nah, man, he ain't gonna get it together. He gonna chase after Dove, and him and Hank gonna fight the whole entire.
He's not gonna chase after Dove. He's coming back for Corey.
We'll see.
Kill Dove.
See, Dove kept that picture because he's in.
Hank is the one that should have went. Hank should have went. He should have one that bought it, not Donna. Like, get rid of Hank.
It gets a snack from me. I halfway want to give it some throw up.
Oh, wow.
Because I ain't getting enough fights, DC. Y'all gave me the damn Runaways as adults.
Randy, I wouldn't go there.
I got more fights in the Runaways and Cloak and Dagger than I did in this.
No, you did not. You a daggone lie. You a lie. You lied, Charles.
I saw more powers in the Runaways.
You a lie, Charles. I quit watching Runaways for that same nonsense. You talk about angst,
but we
ain't never gonna review that show.
Out of kids that don't know no spoiled rich kids. Come on.
The girl had a dinosaur and she's complaining about life.
She's a social justice warrior. She can't help it. She's 16. You explain it to a 26-year-old.
I wanted that dinosaur to eat her.
Hey, like I said, you had armored suits. And the only thing y'all beat up was a bunch of thugs, and you had Aqualad blow one off the fire escape. That's all I saw. And I watched Deathstroke do grown-ass man whooping on Dick Grayson, and that's all you gave me.
That alone should at least get it to a mini meal. Esai Morales was wonderful. You can't give Esai Morales a snack.
It's snack time.
I
Only
give-
snackety snack.
I give you the
snack
pound
right
on that,
now.
Chuck. You get your snack. Yeah, I'm
Snack
with you on
time.
that.
I gave it a mini meal, man. I'm good with
two
my
snacks, a
rated.
mini meal, and a full meal. Sorry, Courtney. It gets a snack.
Yo, Aqualad was so useless. They had to find a random fire hydrant just so he could finish somebody.
Yes. And Donna had to knock the end off of it for him. He's like, thanks for the assist. I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah.
Y'all beat us some streets.
You need to take all that bullet.
You got these
Go save
superheroes
Nemo,
in armor
homie.
suits being street thugs.
Yeah, I didn't get how they killed him with a
You
single
fucking
shot.
Bullies. You fucking bullies. That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
It was
So that's what I'm giving it. Season 3. I'm really excited for it because I really want to say throw up one time on this
How are you
show.
not really excited for it? You sound like you're not excited for it.
I'm excited to say, yo, that's some throw up. That's some old bull.
I'm
But-
excited for it.
I wanna
I'm
see season
excited to
3,
see-
but-
I'm
I want
excited
to see
for it
Jason
too, 'cause
Todd
hopefully I get
be
to see
Red
some
Hood.
fighting. Hopefully I get to see some fighting. They got to make up a fighting for 2 other seasons that I didn't see. They got to make it would be fighting from the beginning to the end.
Listen, Trey, Syntell, I'm gonna
I
need you
saw
to
more
stop rolling
fighting
that
in
hat.
Gangs of London.
I'm just
Going,
saying.
like, you're just getting more and more Gomer
Okay,
Pyle. I
okay,
need you to
okay.
stop.
I'm going to close the show. The next show we're doing Animaniacs, you all. So
I waited the
hope I get a
episode.
binge or a full meal out of that show because I hope I
What
probably
is-
more fighting in
what's next?
Animaniacs than I did
Animaniacs.
in
Oh,
Titans.
okay.
Oh man, finally something with some
But, hey,
personality.
for
Thank
everybody
you.
that's tuned in right now, we're about to actually stream Watch Party The Expanse. Y'all can join in on the watch party with us. Thursday, we're going to stream Destiny 2. You know, that's what we always do. Rodney's going to be in there killing it, of course. Saturday, we got Pod Squadron at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And on Sunday, we got Nerdtastic at 7 p.m. Continue the Transformers talk. Yeah, you get more Transformers because Transformers is the bomb at 9 p.m. Peace.
Peace, everybody.
Bye.
We out. I guess Aqualad.